The entire world is in disbelief right now, because Megyn Kelly, one of the most recognizable names in American media, just broke down on camera, revealing the shocking reason Tyler took Charlie Kirk's life. And let me be clear, this isn't speculation anymore. This isn't another rumor in the culture wars. This is Megyn Kelly, visibly shaken, crying in front of millions, confessing what she knows about the dark truth behind one of the most shocking tragedies to ever hit the political world. For years, Charlie Kirk was seen as untouchable. The founder of Turning Point USA, the conservative voice that could fill stadiums with young followers, the media figure who wielded influence like a sword. Charlie had built an empire. But now, all of it has ended in the most unthinkable way. Tyler, a man nobody thought capable of such violence, has been accused of doing the unthinkable, ending Kirk's life in cold blood. And the reason why? It's something so dark, so personal, that Megyn Kelly herself broke down while revealing it. The clip that has set the internet ablaze shows Megyn in a rare, emotional state. Sitting behind her studio desk, her voice quivering, she looked directly into the camera and whispered, "You all need to know the truth." Tyler didn't do this out of hate. He didn't do it out of politics. He did it because of what Charlie Kirk was hiding. And when you hear it, you'll understand. Her hands shook as she reached for tissues. For a woman known for her poise, her sharp tongue, her ability to spar with presidents and celebrities without blinking an eye, this breakdown was haunting. The moment was clipped, reposted, and analyzed frame by frame across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Within hours, hashtags like #TylerTruth, #CharlieKirkExposed, and #MEGYN were trending worldwide. But what makes this even more disturbing is how carefully Megyn framed her words. She wasn't defending Tyler. She wasn't justifying what happened. But she was hinting that the story the public has been told, the headlines of senseless violence, the narrative of random tragedy, isn't the whole story. In fact, according to her, the truth is far darker and more complicated. And here's the chilling part. She swore she has receipts, emails, messages, confidential notes that reveal exactly why Tyler snapped hand, why Charlie Kirk's secrets may have been the trigger that no one saw coming. The internet has never been this divided. Some fans are furious, accusing Megyn Kelly of exploiting a tragedy for ratings. Others believe every word she says, convinced that if Megyn is breaking down, it must mean the truth is too big, too heavy to keep hidden any longer. And then the whispers started. Anonymous accounts claiming to know Tyler personally began posting cryptic messages. "He told us before." Nobody listened. Now it's too late. Another account simply posted, "Charlie wasn't who you thought he was." The speculation is unbearable. Was Tyler pushed to the edge by something personal? Did he uncover something about Charlie Kirk that the world was never supposed to see? And why does Megyn Kelly, of all people, know so much about it? One thing is clear. The world isn't looking at Tyler as just a criminal anymore. They're looking at him as the key to unraveling a story that could shake the foundations of everything Charlie Kirk built. Because if what Megyn Kelly is saying is true, then this wasn't just a random act of violence. It was an explosion of secrets, betrayal, and pressure that finally shattered. The tears in Megyn's eyes told the story. The quiver in her voice made it undeniable. The truth about why Tyler killed Charlie Kirk is coming in when it drops. It won't just destroy reputations. It could destroy everything. Charlie Kirk wasn't just another conservative commentator. He was a machine, a force, a brand that built itself into something far larger than one man. From founding Turning Point USA as a teenager to transforming it into one of the most powerful youth-focused political organizations in the country, Kirk became a symbol of the culture war itself. His events drew stadiums of fans. His donors included some of the richest names in politics. His social media following was massive, capable of sparking outrage or celebration at the tap of a tweet. To his supporters, he was an untouchable voice for the voiceless, a defender of conservative values in a world they believed was collapsing. To his critics, he was a dangerous manipulator, someone who turned outrage into dollars, pitting Americans against one another for profit. But either way, one thing was clear: Charlie Kirk mattered. He wasn't just a commentator, he was an empire, and that's why his downfall has hit so hard. Because Charlie Kirk's story didn't end with controversy. It ended in tragedy, in a way nobody saw coming. The headlines first broke quietly. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk, dead at 31. At first, the reports were vague, calling it a shocking incident and under investigation. But within hours, the internet had already pieced together the name of the man allegedly responsible: Tyler, a name that, until now, had been invisible to the world. Who is Tyler? That's the question consuming everyone right now. Early reports painted him as a shadowy figure, someone who had been circling around Kirk's orbit for years without the public knowing. Some claim he was a disillusioned supporter, someone who once believed in Kirk but grew bitter. Others whisper that he was closer than anyone realized: a friend, a staffer, maybe even more. But what's undeniable is this: Tyler didn't come out of nowhere. His name is tied to Charlie's story, whether the world knew it before or not. And now, Megyn Kelly has made it clear Tyler's act wasn't random. It wasn't senseless. It was deliberate, driven by something Kirk was hiding. That's why Megyn's breakdown was so chilling. For years, she's been known as one of the sharpest, toughest voices in media. She sparred with Donald Trump. She faced down some of the most powerful men in broadcasting. She's been praised, criticized, attacked, and celebrated. But through it all, she's never cracked. She's never lost control, until now. The footage of Megyn crying on camera has left even her harshest critics stunned. She spoke slowly, carefully, her voice breaking. People need to stop pretending this was random. Tyler didn't just snap. He discovered something. He carried it for too long. And when he confronted Charlie, it ended the only way it could. Those words sent shockwaves through the culture. What did Tyler discover? Why would Megyn Kelly be the one to reveal it? And why did she look like she was carrying the weight of the world as she said it? Insiders are now whispering about her connections to both men. Megyn, as a journalist, had crossed paths with Kirk numerous times. She'd interviewed him, sparred with him, and according to some reports, she'd also spoken with Tyler in private months before this tragedy. Was Tyler confiding in her? Was she sitting on information nobody else wanted to touch? That would explain the tears, the breakdown, and her claim that she has the receipts. Meanwhile, the internet has turned Tyler into both a villain and a symbol. To some, he's a murderer who deserves no sympathy. To others, he's a tragic figure, someone driven past the breaking point by secrets too heavy to carry. One viral TikTok put it bluntly: if Tyler killed Charlie, it's because Charlie was hiding something the world wasn't ready to hear. And the timing couldn't be more suspicious. Charlie Kirk had been facing growing scrutiny in the weeks before his death. Rumors of internal power struggles within Turning Point, anonymous leaks hinting at financial irregularities, and whispers, just whispers, that there were personal secrets too damaging to survive exposure. Charlie dismissed it all, calling it fake news and attacks from the left. But Tyler's act and Megyn Kelly's breakdown have thrown gasoline on every single one of those rumors. Every single one of those rumors. Now the internet is demanding answers. What exactly did Tyler know? Why did he target Charlie Kirk? And why is Megyn Kelly the one hinting that the truth will destroy everything? Theories are flying. Some claim Tyler uncovered corruption inside Turning Point donor money being used in ways that would spark scandal. Others insist it was personal, that Tyler knew secrets about Kirk's private life that he couldn't let go. And the darkest theory of all, that Tyler wasn't acting alone, that he was part of something bigger. And Kirk's death was the spark of a storm that's still building. Through it all, one image haunts everyone: Megyn Kelly in tears, whispering that Tyler didn't act out of hate, but out of what he knew. It's that line that refuses to leave people's minds. Because if she's telling the truth, then Charlie Kirk's story doesn't end with his death. It begins with the secrets he left behind, and the person holding those secrets, the one who claims to have the files, the messages, the proof: Megyn Kelly. The background has been laid. The empire Charlie built, the mysterious figure of Tyler, and the journalist now holding the world's attention, breaking down under the weight of the truth. The stage is set. The questions are boiling, and the first major twist, the revelation of what Tyler discovered, hasn't even dropped yet. The world thought they had seen every angle of Charlie Kirk's story: his rise, his empire, his controversies. But when Megyn Kelly began to explain why Tyler killed him, it was clear this wasn't going to be another surface-level scandal. This was something darker, something personal. On her show, Megyn's voice trembled as she looked into the camera. She had tissues in her hand, but her eyes were still red, her tone still broken. She whispered, "I didn't want to be the one to say this. I didn't want to hold this. But Tyler told me before. He reached out to me. He told me everything. And now the world deserves to know." The internet froze. Tyler spoke to Megyn Kelly before the tragedy. That admission alone was enough to send shockwaves. But what she revealed next was even more devastating. "This wasn't random," she said. Tyler uncovered documents that proved Charlie Kirk was living a double life. Publicly, he was the face of purity, faith, and conservative values. Privately, he was hiding something that would have destroyed him. She paused, her voice cracking. And when Tyler confronted him about it, everything spiraled out of control. Those words were enough to light social media on fire. Fans clipped the segment and replayed it endlessly. Twitter flooded with theories. What documents did Tyler find? What double life was Charlie hiding? Was it financial? Was it personal? Was it both? And then Megyn dropped the first real clue. She reached for a folder on her desk, her hand shaking as she opened it. Tyler showed me emails. Real emails. I verified them. Charlie wasn't who you thought he was. He wasn't who his followers thought he was. He wasn't who his donors thought he was. She didn't show the emails directly, but she described them. According to Megyn, they were conversations between Charlie and unnamed individuals, referencing offshore accounts, unreported contributions, and most chilling of all, quiet deals that allegedly tied him to people he publicly condemned. The internet exploded. Some fans screamed this was the proof they had always suspected, that Kirk's empire was funded by shady bacchanals. Others called it slander, demanding Megyn release the actual files instead of teasing for ratings. But the narrative had already shifted. If the emails were real, then Charlie Kirk had been running a secret machine behind the scenes, one that Tyler stumbled upon. And here's where the story twisted into nightmare territory. Megyn revealed that Tyler wasn't just a random man in Charlie's orbit. He had once been inside his circle. She whispered, Tyler wasn't an outsider. He wasn't just a critic. He was trusted. He had access. And when he saw what Charlie was hiding, he begged me to help him bring it to light. Fans were stunned. Tyler once part of Charlie's inner circle. That revelation reframed everything. Suddenly, he wasn't a stranger lashing out. He was a man who had been close enough to see the cracks in the empire, close enough to read the emails, close enough to realize what nobody else could. And Megyn claimed she warned him. I told him not to confront Charlie directly. I told him it wasn't safe. But he was desperate. He said the world needed to know. He said Charlie's followers had a right to see the truth. And then she trailed off, choking back tears. The internet went feral. Memes exploded, TikToks multiplied, hashtags trended. Hashtag Charlie's emails. Hashtag Tyler knew. Hashtag double life. People demanded Megyn show the actual files. Others defended her, saying she was protecting her sources. But one thing was clear. Tyler's act no longer looked like random violence. It looked like the final chapter in a cover-up gone wrong. And then came the first leak. A mysterious account posted what looked like one of the very emails Megyn had described. The text was grainy, blurred, but fans swore it mentioned moving funds offshore and keeping this between us. The signature at the bottom? It looked like Charlie's. Was it real? Nobody knew. But the damage was instant. The screenshots spread across every platform, with fans screaming, "It matches what Megyn said." Even critics had to admit the coincidence was chilling. And then Megyn's voice cracked again, delivering the line that turned the scandal into scandal meltdown. Tyler killed Charlie because he believed if the truth didn't come out, millions of people were living a lie. He told me, "If I don't stop him, nobody will." The internet froze. Those words, allegedly from Tyler himself, reframed everything. To some, it made him look like a vigilante twisted, but acting on what he believed was justice. To others, it made him look even darker. A man who chose violence instead of exposing evidence. The backlash was immediate. Fans of Charlie called Megyn a traitor, accusing her of smearing a dead man. Supporters of Tyler hailed her as a hero for finally speaking the truth. But the bigger picture was undeniable. The cracks in Charlie Kirk's empire were now gaping holes. And the world wanted to know exactly what was inside. And just when the hysteria couldn't get any worse, another anonymous post appeared online. It was short, simple, and terrifying. The full files drop tomorrow. Be ready. The cliffhanger was brutal. Charlie Kirk's death was no longer just a tragedy. It was a mystery, a scandal, a conspiracy unraveling in real time. And now the internet was waiting, desperate, terrified, obsessed, counting down to a drop that could expose everything. The world barely slept that night. After Megyn Kelly's breakdown and her haunting words about Tyler, all anyone could think about was the anonymous warning. The full files drop tomorrow. The internet was in chaos, counting down the hours, refreshing timelines, waiting to see if the promise was real or another hoax. And then, at 3:17 a.m., it happened. A massive dump of documents appeared on a shadowy forum, quickly copied to Twitter, Telegram, and TikTok. The file's hundreds of screenshots, PDFs, and emails were allegedly from Charlie Kirk's personal accounts. Some were mundane, travel itineraries, staff notes, generic exchanges. But buried in the pile were the smoking guns. One email, dated 2 years ago, showed Charlie allegedly coordinating payments to offshore accounts under fake business names. Another appeared to show him privately negotiating with donors he publicly disavowed. And most damning of all, a series of exchanges hinted at personal secrets messages that contradicted the very image he projected to his followers. The internet exploded. The internet exploded. Hashtags like hashtag Charlie exposed, hashtag Tyler was right, and hashtag MEGYN knew dominated within minutes. TikTok creators filmed themselves scrolling through the files, gasping, crying, and screaming into their cameras. YouTubers uploaded breakdowns in real time, labeling the scandal the collapse of Charlie Kirk. But the most chilling part wasn't just the documents sit, was what they suggested about Tyler's motives. If even half of them were real, then Tyler hadn't acted out of random rage. He had been sitting on secrets so explosive they could have destroyed Charlie's empire overnight. And Megyn Kelly. She had warned us. Clips of her breakdown resurfaced, played side by side with the leaked emails. Fans dissected her every word, pointing out how her descriptions matched the files almost perfectly. She wasn't exaggerating, she knew. One viral tweet declared. Others accused her of orchestrating the leak herself. She's not crying because she's scared, she's crying because she's guilty. Another user wrote, "The division was brutal." On one side, people praised Megyn as the only journalist brave enough to hint at the truth before it exploded. On the other, critics said she was complicit, that she had sat on evidence while Charlie was alive and only wept. Once it was too late, and then came the political fallout. Turning Point USA, the organization Charlie built from scratch, released a vague statement. "We are grieving the loss of our founder and will not be responding to unverified leaks or rumors at this time." But the damage was already spreading. Donors pulled back. Student chapters flooded forums with panicked posts. Rumors swirled that staff were resigning en masse. The empire was cracking under the weight of the files. Meanwhile, the news cycle went nuclear. CNN ran the headline, "Charlie Kirk files leak raises questions about motives behind killing." Fox News tread more carefully, but even they admitted. Documents cast shadow over Kirk's legacy. Talk shows debated whether Tyler should still be seen as a murderer or as a whistleblower who snapped. And then the twist nobody expected. A second video of Tyler himself surfaced. The clip was grainy, filmed on a phone, but the voice was unmistakable. Tyler sat in a dark room, looking directly into the camera. His words were slow, steady, haunting. "I didn't want it to end this way. I wanted people to see the truth. But when I tried to speak, they shut me out. When I tried to show them, they called me a liar. Charlie left me no choice." The internet lost its mind. Was this Tyler's confession? Was it recorded before the act? If so, it reframed everything yet again. This wasn't just violence. It was a message. A warning? A man who believed he was silenced until he acted. And here's where Megyn Kelly's role became even more tangled. Insiders leaked that she had known about this video weeks ago, that Tyler had sent it to her before the tragedy. If true, it meant Megyn hadn't just known about the files she had seen. Tyler's mindset unraveling in real time. Critics tore her apart. She could have stopped this. One headline screamed. Others defended her, saying Tyler was determined no matter what. But either way, Megyn Kelly was no longer just the messenger. She was part of the story. And then came the most shocking revelation of all. Buried deep in the leaked files was a chain of emails between Charlie Kirk and a name nobody expected, a senior political figure. The exchanges hinted at deals that, if proven real, could spark not just scandal, but federal investigations. The file suggested Charlie wasn't just running a shady empire. He was trading influence with people in power. That's when the whispers began. Was Tyler silenced? Was this bigger than just him and Charlie? Was he just the pawn in something larger? The escalation was unbearable. Fans begged for answers. Conspiracy theories spiraled. And through it all, Megyn Kelly stayed silent, refusing to comment further after her breakdown. But the internet wasn't going to wait. The files were out. Tyler's video was out. The whispers of political ties were out. And the one woman who could confirm or deny it, all the one who had cried on camera, saying she had seen the truth, was now hiding behind silence. The cliffhanger was brutal. Was Tyler a murderer, a whistleblower, or both? Were the files real or fabricated? And what role did Megyn Kelly really play in the weeks before Charlie Kirk's death? The answers weren't clear. But one thing was undeniable. The story wasn't about Charlie Kirk anymore. It was about the secrets he left behind, then the people still fighting to control them. The leaked files didn't just expose Charlie Kirk, they split the entire country in two. Overnight, the story transformed from a political scandal into a cultural war so massive that no one could escape it. Twitter became a battlefield. On one side, Charlie's supporters dismissed the leaks as fake, accusing the left, Megyn Kelly, and Tyler's defenders of fabricating evidence to destroy Kirk's legacy. Charlie dedicated his life to America. One viral tweet read, "And now they're dragging his name through the mud." Shame on anyone believing this garbage. But the other side fired back with receipts. They posted screenshots of the leaked emails, splicing them together with clips of Megyn Kelly's breakdown. One TikTok edit went viral with the caption, "He preached one thing, lived another. Tyler knew. Megyn warned us. Now the truth is out." The video racked up 10 million views in 24 hours. Celebrities started weighing in, and the reactions couldn't have been more polarized. A popular Hollywood actor tweeted, "Charlie Kirk's whole empire was built on lies. Tyler may have gone too far, but now we see why." That tweet instantly blew up, sparking outrage from conservative circles. Meanwhile, a country music star posted on Instagram, "I knew Charlie. He was a man of faith, a leader, a fighter. Don't let these so-called leaks tarnish his legacy. Rest in peace, brother." Thousands of fans flooded the comments with hashtag #StandWithCharlie. While critics spammed it with hashtag Tyler was right, even politicians got dragged into the storm. One senator demanded a full investigation into the files, tweeting, "If these documents are legitimate, then crimes were committed at the highest level." Another lawmaker slammed Megyn Kelly, accusing her of weaponizing grief for clout. The fact that sitting politicians were now part of the online brawl only made the drama more explosive. News outlets fed the frenzy like vultures circling fresh prey. CNN ran wall-to-wall coverage, analyzing the documents, replaying Tyler's video confession, and running endless panels debating Megyn Kelly's role. Fox News was caught in a crisis of its own, torn between defending one of their movement's icons and acknowledging the tidal wave of evidence spreading across every platform. And the fans. They were ruthless. Reddit threads turned into full-blown investigations. TikTokers played detective, cross-referencing the leaked emails with donor lists, bank records, and even screenshots from Kirk's old speeches. Some declared the files were 100% authentic. Others insisted they were forged. But everyone agreed on one thing: this wasn't going away. The memes, too, were brutal. One viral image showed Charlie Kirk smiling next to a suitcase of cash with the caption, "Preaching values, pocketing millions." Another meme showed Tyler's blurry video clip with the words, "I tried to tell you." The internet turned tragedy into a spectacle, and the spectacle turned into a movement. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly became the lightning rod at the center of it all. Supporters hailed her as a whistleblower with the courage to hint at the truth. Critics branded her a manipulator who had exploited Tyler's pain for her own platform. Hashtags like #MEGYN exposed and #ThankYouMegyn trended simultaneously, painting her as both villain and hero. And the pressure on her only grew worse when anonymous insiders claimed she wasn't just reporting on the story. She was part of it. A rumor spread that Megyn had been in direct contact with Tyler up until days before the tragedy. Screenshots allegedly showing texts between them began to circulate. One chilling message attributed to Tyler read, "If you won't help me, I'll do it myself." The backlash was immediate. Some accused Megyn of knowing exactly what Tyler was planning and doing nothing. Others insisted the messages were fake. Another layer of disinformation in a scandal that was already impossible to untangle. But the reaction wasn't just online, it was real. Turning Point USA canceled multiple events. Donors pulled out quietly. College chapters scrambled to distance themselves from Kirk's name, and whispers of a full-blown federal investigation into the leaked files began circulating in Washington. The reaction wasn't confined to America either. International outlets picked up the story, framing it as a cautionary tale of American culture wars gone deadly. British tabloids ran headlines like "Kirk's secret double life exposed after murder," while European commentators debated whether Tyler's act was political or personal. And through it all, one question dominated every conversation: was Tyler a monster or a martyr? Supporters of Charlie insisted he was nothing but a murderer, a coward who took a life instead of facing reality. Supporters of Tyler painted him as a man crushed under the weight of secrets too heavy to bear. Someone who tried to warn the world but was ignored until it was too late. The divide was vicious, ugly, and growing worse by the hour. And then came the cruelest twist in the reaction cycle. Tyler's family finally broke their silence. In a statement released to the press, they said, "Tyler was not a violent person. He was deeply troubled by what he discovered. He believed he had a duty to expose the truth. We begged him to find another way. We are devastated by the choices he made, but we want the world to understand he wasn't crazy. He wasn't evil. He was desperate." That statement broke the internet all over again. Fans cried, critics fumed. But the conversation shifted once more. Tyler wasn't just a name anymore. He was a person, with a family begging the world to see him as more than the act that defined him. Now the public was more divided than ever. Some saw the statement as proof that Tyler was motivated by truth, not madness. Others accused his family of making excuses for the inexcusable. But either way, the reaction ensured the story wouldn't fade, because now the debate wasn't just about Charlie Kirk's secrets. It was about truth, accountability, and the terrifying line between whistleblowing and violence. And just when it seemed the storm couldn't get any bigger, whispers of another leak began circulating, one that could expose not just Charlie's empire, but the people who had been protecting it all along. The reactions were tearing the country apart. And the final twist was still waiting to explode. The public reaction had reached a fever pitch, but no one was prepared for what came next. The leaks had shattered Charlie Kirk's spotless image. Tyler's video had reframed him from killer to desperate whistleblower. And Megyn Kelly's tearful hints had made her both a savior and a villain. But then came the final twist, the leak that didn't just expose Charlie, but dragged Megyn herself into the shadows. It began with a new file drop on the same anonymous forum that had posted the original full files. This time, the dump was smaller, just a handful of documents, but their contents were nuclear. Among them were emails that appeared to show direct communication between Meghan Kelly and Charlie Kirk. The messages were dated months before his death, and in them, Charlie seemed to be pleading with Megyn. One email allegedly read, "You have to stop Tyler. He's spiraling. He thinks he knows everything, but he doesn't understand. If you let this go public, it won't just end middle, destroy you too." Another message was even more cryptic. Charlie allegedly wrote, "You know what we agreed to. If this comes out, your name will be in it as much as mine." The internet exploded. Was Megyn complicit in Charlie's secrets? Did she know about his double life all along? Had she only broken down because she realized the spotlight was about to swing onto her? Within hours, hashtags like #MEGYN exposed, #MEGYN files, and hashtags she knew were trending. Clips of her tearful confession replayed with captions like, "She wasn't crying for Charlie, she was crying for herself." The backlash was brutal. Critics accused Megyn of being part of the cover-up, protecting Charlie until Tyler forced her hand. Supporters argued the emails could be forged, another layer of manipulation in a scandal already thick with lies. But the damage was done. the suspicion was planted. And then came the most terrifying part. A second video surfaced, allegedly from Tyler, filmed just hours before the tragedy. In it, he looked directly into the camera, his eyes dark and tired. His voice was steady but chilling. "I told Megyn everything. I trusted her. I begged her to help me. She didn't. She stalled. She wanted to protect herself. So don't let her pretend she's innocent. She knew. And now it's too late." The internet lost its mind. If that video was real, it didn't just implicate Megyn, it painted her as central to the tragedy. The woman who had cried on camera about knowing the truth wasn't just a witness. She was part of the story Tyler himself wanted exposed. Meghan Kelly's silence in the hours after the leak made everything worse. She didn't deny the emails. She didn't address the video. She simply vanished, canceling her next show taping without explanation. And that silence was louder than any denial. Pundits debated furiously. Some said Megyn was the ultimate victim caught between a collapsing empire and a desperate man. Others accused her of protecting her career until it was too late. One panelist said bluntly, "If Tyler is telling the truth, then Meghan Kelly has blood on her hands." Fans were torn apart. Comment sections filled with arguments. "She betrayed Tyler," versus "She tried to warn us and you all ignored her." The divide was vicious, and then, as if to pour gasoline on the fire, another anonymous post appeared online. This one wasn't files. It wasn't video. It was just a single sentence, chilling in its simplicity. "The next leak isn't about Charlie. It's about Megyn." The cliffhanger was unbearable. Charlie Kirk's empire was already in ruins. Tyler's name was forever etched into history. But now, the focus had shifted. The whispers weren't about Kirk anymore. They were about Meghan Kelly. What did she know? What was she hiding? And what would the next leak reveal about her role in the tragedy that destroyed everything? One thing was certain: the story wasn't over. It was only getting darker. And when the next leak drops, it won't just rewrite Charlie Kirk's legacy. It could destroy Meghan Kelly's life forever. And now we've reached the breaking point. Charlie Kirk is gone. Tyler is branded both a murderer and a whistleblower. And Meghan Kelly, once the trusted face of Fearless. Journalism is now at the center of whispers that could destroy everything she's built. The files. The emails, the videos, the tears. They've left us with more questions than answers. Was Charlie Kirk hiding a double life so explosive it cost him everything? Was Tyler really a man crushed under the weight of secrets no one believed? And most chilling of all, what did Meghan Kelly actually know? Was she a reluctant messenger? Or was she a piece of the machine that Tyler died trying to expose? Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Meghan Kelly is telling the truth for protecting herself? Do you think Tyler was justified in his actions, or did he cross a line that can never be defended? And what about those final words? The next leak isn't about Charlie. It's about Meghan. What do you think we'll see when that drops? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Don't hold back. This is bigger than politics. This is about truth, lies, and how far people will go to protect their power. And while you're down there, hit that like button if you think the world deserves to see the full truth. Smash subscribe, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The next leak could change everything we thought we knew about Meghan Kelly, Tyler, and Charlie Kirk. Because this story isn't over. Not even close. The darkest secrets are still waiting to come out, and when they do, we'll be right here, breaking it down piece by piece, showing you the receipts they don't want you to see. Stay tuned. Stay ready. And remember, sometimes the truth doesn't just hurt. Sometimes it kills. Just hurt. Sometimes it kills.